Top of the morning, Dan and Amy have just learned a decision has come down from the High Court.
And?
I'm obviously talking about the Facebook Oversight Board.
And?
And
is he back or not?
Trump will continue to be suspended by Facebook.
No. Well, then there's other world leaders out there who are dictators who should not be allowed to post things on Facebook.
I don't even think Trump cares about it anymore, especially with his new platform. All right, I wanted to get to this police officer. I thought these were some really poignant words from a cop yesterday who took to social media. He apparently not suspended yet, to offer his frustrations at where the country is right now. He is named Kelvin Dingle. He's a Major Kelvin Dingle is his title, Operations Commander in the Public Safety Office of the Morehouse School of Medicine in Atlanta. And here's what he said.
I wake up every morning and kiss my family goodbye, knowing that there's a possibility I won't come home. I am tired of every time I wake up in the morning, there's someone else polarizing the fact that maybe law enforcement is just not a good thing. All of us are not bad. I am not as they are. Most of us are not. There are bad people in every career. I'm so tired.
Pretty emotional guy who's been, I think, in law enforcement for the better part of 3 decades. But that's where things stand with law enforcement today. And there was this other stop in L.A. with some hero professor out of work.
She was
verbally accosting a police officer who pulled her over to give her a cell phone ticket.
Yeah, she was in a white Mercedes-Benz. Her son is in the car, folks. Okay, so you talk about learned behavior from mother to son.
At 38.
Yes, you are, ma'am. Good morning.
And the speed limit is 40, and I was going 38, so why are you harassing me?
You are correct. I pulled you over because
you're a murderer.
Because
yes, I started to record because you're a murderer.
You can't be on your cell phone while you're driving.
I wasn't on my phone. I was recording you because you scared me.
You can't use your cell phone while you're recording.
I can record you.
May I have your driver's license?
It's at my apartment.
What's your apartment?
It's at my home. I'm just taking my son to his.
Do you have your driver's license?
I mistakenly left it at home.
Do you have a picture of your driver's license?
Yes, I do.
May I have it?
And can you call your supervisor, please?
I already did. He's on his way.
Good, because you're a murderer.
Yeah, somebody should call the police on this murderer.
Yeah.
And so you're giving me a cell phone ticket? Is that why you're harassing me?
Not harassment. I am enforcing the law.
I have a right to record the police when they're harassing me.
By all means, but you can't do it while you're driving.
I wasn't texting or none of that.
Do you have that picture?
You scared me and made me think you were going to murder me.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Well, that's not
rational.
Just a feeling. You're a murderer.
Okay.
Reasonable person.
Can you zoom in on that for me,
Sure.
Jim? Thank you.
And I'm perfectly legal, and I'm a teacher. So there.
Congratulations.
So there.
You're a murderer.
What's your last name? I can't see that there.
Well,
if
here you
stop,
go,
Stop
murderer.
shaking.
I called a murderer 9 times.
Zoom in on that for me,
No,
ma'am.
because you're scaring me.
Yeah.
You're threatening to kill me and my son. Can you give me
Okay.
the
Well,
iPad,
I'll tell you what. You keep smiling. You're on camera.
You're trying to threaten to kill me.
I
I'm not
didn't say that.
smiling. You're the one who's crazy.
Hold that still. I can't see that. Is this your car?
Yes, it is. And you're trying to say I stole my own car because you're jealous?
Yeah, I don't think so.
About?
You wait for me right here, okay?
You're jealous?
This is the worst part.
All you need to
No,
do
it's
is
great.
your signature. He's only citing you for using your
What are
cell
you
phone
jealous
while you're
of?
driving. That's it.
There you go, ma'am. Sign inside the red box right
For
there.
him being a Mexican racist. What is that name? Gasso.
It's on the citation, ma'am.
Here you go, Mexican racist. You're always going to be a Mexican. You'll never be white. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You'll never be white, which is what you really want to be.
There you
want
go,
to be
dear.
white.
Have a good day.
You want to be white so bad.
And the ironic thing is, later that day, she called to file a harassment complaint against that deputy.
A harassment complaint? She should be signing a complaint for his attempted murder. Shouldn't she?
And that body cam footage is what he recorded on. He did the recording. It wasn't the department's.
Well,
but thank God he had it, because that shows who's harassing who.
Oh, please.
Oh, well,
Please.
it helps if you have evidence.
Here's who she is. every leftist white suburban woman in America. I'm sorry, but that's it. So we said it was L.A. We shouldn't have even told you where it was. We should have made you guess because the top guesses would be Naperville, Hinsdale, River Forest, Wilmette, Highland Park. That's who they are. That ridiculous woman who is a cartoon. She's a cartoon person.
And she's been a professor at 3 different places
Of course
in the
she
LA
has.
area. Of course.
Of course she's a professor.
teaching young children.
Of course she's a professor.
Young minds.
It's perfect. I'm sorry because I'm in studio with 2 white women. They're lovely white women.
Wonderful dispositions.
And I'm not making comment on politics or anything else. This is just my viewpoint. These white leftist hat women, the hate has no home here sign waivers, her as an
Ghastly.
example, they are the worst people in the world. They are terrible, terrible human beings, and I wish more people would tell them they're terrible human beings. Now, that officer had to be professional, and obviously he was, and he had to stopped from laughing, which I applaud him for, because I wouldn't have been able to.
She kept pushing the button. Then you're Mexican. You'll never be white.
Pushing the button. See, that is a cartoon character. That is a cardboard cutout human being. That is not an actual person that officer had to encounter. But I hope people in their everyday lives, when they see someone like that, and you see them, I know you do. I see them. You see them at cocktail parties. You see them at PTA meetings. You see them at the neighborhood cookout. You see them. I hope you will say, just like that officer did, very matter of fact, you are a ridiculous person. You're a terrible human being. And I want everybody to know who you are and what you are. And I think that should be spread among your professional colleagues. That should be spread among families. Your students apparently take her classes when she's employed. Mm-hmm. I mean, I love these examples. I love them. They tell us who they are. You can't ask for more of a gift than that interchange between that officer and that woman. And so to your point, Amy, yeah, it was great that he recorded it, because you just don't get the texture if he just told the story. It's really something. All right, switching gears to some extent. I won't make her comment on all that we've been talking about. Caitlyn Brennan is the Chief Executive Officer of the 100 Club of Illinois now, and she joins us in studio. Caitlyn, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Happy to be here.
So now you're Illinois. It's not just Chicago. You've blown up and gone statewide.
So March of this year, we decided that we would bring all of our services and resources to the rest of the counties in Illinois, since there's 102 of us. And we were in 3 up until March.
And tell us again, for our audience, I know they've followed the 100 Club and our partnership with you with our golf outings, which has been great, but what the 100 Club does.
The 100 Club provides for families of first responders killed in the line of duty. We've been around. This will be our 55th year in August. Wow. And with the expansion in March, we also brought on new resources dealing with mental health and wellness and resiliency, not only for our families, but for the general first responder community. So we've expanded that service from line of duty assistance to really a lift for the entire first responder community. Coming off of the videos you just played, I will respond to those.
Okay.
It's needed. It's necessary, because as comical as it is to watch that, knowing that she is clearly in the wrong, if you hear that message every single day, day in and day out, there's first responders who are going through that. There's families who are going through that. The tragedy of losing a loved one performing a public service and then having to watch something like that, just as a complete, slap to what your first responder.
Well, yeah, you know what it'll be. It'll be that officer who endured that nonsensical woman 35 years from now will be Major Dingle in Atlanta saying, "I'm just fed up. I'm at my wit's end with it."
Yeah,
and you don't know what that officer came from or will go to, because you're going call to call to call, especially with the numbers of officers that are dwindling,
right?
Because they can't pull in new people. He could have come from an accident where a child was lost, or from a horrible domestic violence incident, and then to have to deal with that. I think it's a horribly sad situation that that's the state our first responders have to deal with, but also a testament to who these men and women are, because I don't know about you, but I couldn't deal with that.
That's why I'm not an LA County Sheriff's deputy like he is. But with COVID too, that adds a new pressure here because unlike teachers, if they're around somebody who gets COVID, they have to quarantine for 14 days. Officers who are around people with COVID, even after arresting people with COVID, do not self-quarantine. They have to be out on the job constantly. They don't get any time off for that.
Well, and I think that's a lot of what the general public forgets is a year ago, we were talking more about these heroes on the front line who can't stay home. You know, they can't pull together and say, we're not coming in today. We don't feel good. You know, they have to show up every single day. And we lost firefighters and police officers to COVID because they were the front line. They were the first people getting sick in our areas a lot of times because they were doing those ambulance runs when people were scared in the middle of the night and needed to go to the hospital, or they were still going to domestic battery calls because you can't not.
Right. Now, is the 100 Club helping those who've died from COVID, the firefighters and Chicago police officers and other sheriff's deputies in the state?
Definitely. So we made that decision last year. And I was telling Dan when I walked in that we've covered 18 families since last April, which is...
That have died from COVID?
9 have died from COVID, but 18 together, which is an astronomical number of first responders lost.
So you guys need financial
that's
help.
EMTs, firefighters, and police again.
Correct.
Right. Those are your universe.
So you need the need is greater now more than ever.
Definitely. And we took the stance that we made it through 2020 and said we can do more and we should do more. And we owe it to our first responders and their families to do more. And that's why we went statewide and came up with those other resources as well. So the need is exponentially more. And also the time to show these people that people still care is exponentially more.
And sorry, I just lost my train of thought there. I'm still trying to process why Amy is not an LA deputy sheriff. And all the reasons why that would be.
Well, Angie Dickinson.
Yeah, I could see you in a remake of Bad Lieutenant. I could see that. So when you talk about the resources you provide these families, these 18 families who lost a family member who was a police officer, firefighter, EMT, what does that entail? Give us scope.
So we provide up to $50,000 to the family immediately at the time of a line of duty death. We also provide educational assistance for all surviving dependents, so that's spouses and children. Educational assistance from trade school all the way up to law school. And then with the new resources, we provide counseling, mentorship, and a whole other cadre of services, support services that really speak to the kind of things that they're dealing with having come off of a line of duty death.
And people listening probably say, well, wait a second, what does the union provide? What about their benefits? Doesn't that cover the cost like anybody else in any other profession that has to plan life insurance and those sorts of things in terms of an untimely death? What's happening with police, fire, EMT that they need this backstop of the 100 Club?
So it's the immediate response. We show up at the hospital most times. COVID kind of put a tangle on that, but typically it's at the hospital to assist with not only what that family is going through, but what the department is going through too, and to help provide guidance on what the next couple days are going to look like in the next couple weeks. And then we're there with those families forever. But that immediate response financially assists with funerals. Quite frankly, right now, after coming off of 18, a funeral will cost you anywhere between $15,000 and $18,000 in the state of Illinois. So that is an automatic upfront cost. And that's not a cost that's shared by every department or union. There are some that are able to do that, but not most, especially when you start looking outside of the major metro counties.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and that's why I've made arrangements because of the expense to be stuffed and put in the corner here.
Oh, that's right. We're going to call it taxidermist?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be nice.
I'll put you behind that pillar there.
You can't remember.
You.
You can't forget me if I never really leave.
Left.
Yeah,
that's true. So I wanted. Do we have a few more?
Yeah, go ahead.
There's and then also the number of suicides. I know in Chicago police, I know there's 2 over at the 19th district. And is anybody addressing that? Is the 100 Club helping out with that?
There are a lot of groups who are wrapping their arms around that right now. We're addressing it on the mental health waveline. So we're bringing those resources to departments as early as the academy and to follow you throughout your career. I mean, there's many ways to address what's happening to our first responder community, that suicide is so prevalent. But that's the way that we're choosing to do it, is that approach of we're going to keep providing those mental health resources and different angles to do that. So as we provide it as a third party, you're not going through your department necessarily if you don't want to. You can come through the 100 Club and still get the connection to those resources.
And again, people get information about the 100 Club where?
100clubil.org.
100clubil.org. And then we're partnering with the 100 Club of Illinois, not Chicago anymore, Illinois, again this year with our golf outing on June 28th. So a portion of what we raise will go to the 100 Club so they can turn around and help those families that Caitlyn was describing. And the details on the golf outing?
It's $1,196 for your foursome, but with that you get a full day of hanging out with us, but you also get a full day of challenging golf at the Mistwood Golf Club in Romeoville. You'll get breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So book your tee times at 560theanswer.com/golf. 560theanswer.com/golf.
Maybe we can do a reenactment where of that police officer in L.A. where you play the police officer and I'll play the woman. I'll play the professor.
Oh, we can use your Mercedes-Benz.
Exactly.
It'll be black instead of white.
We'll do
that's
a
all right.
reenactment, and then
you can put your hypothetical children in the back seat.
Yeah, I'll have Hayek as
Yeah.
my as
And
the
so you always
riding
wanted-
shotgun. All right, very good. Caitlyn Brennan, thank you for enduring our nonsense, number one. But number two, thank you for what you and the 100 Club of Illinois do. Caitlyn Brennan, Chief Executive Officer, 100 Club of Illinois. Thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for sharing the message.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hey, everybody. Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year, we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. In fact, over 1 million homeowners took advantage of refinancing or buying a new home with Rocket Mortgage. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase again, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. With an official mortgage review from Rocket Mortgage, you'll see just how much money you could save by making a move right now. Don't look back over these next few weeks and wish that you had taken action. You could save hundreds on your mortgage payments or pay off your home loan earlier than planned. You could even take cash out of your home to pay off high-interest debt, complete home repairs, or bulk up on an emergency fund. When you want to secure a low rate, Rocket can. Call 833-8ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com.
Rocket. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Gentlemen, make your health a priority with a quick and easy health assessment at Low T Center. They exclusively specialize in men's wellness and follow strict medical guidelines for your health and safety. They're one of the leading men's medical providers